but now the engage is there. He is unstoppable. He's going to pull in the Alistar. Carlton Danks jumps in with the stun, but a nice ultimate from Best Sniper and from Dolce separate the fight. Now Svoboda is in, but does not live. Best Sniper needs to use his Seraph's Embrace. Fidix is getting super fed here in this fight. He goes 2-0 as Polly needs to be really careful. He gets all the minions in the wave. Does he have the damage to kill Clans and Dolce and Fidix? He does not. And that is an ace in favor of Stanford.
That looked really back and forth through that whole fight. I think the story there was, let's bounce, only catches the one member, because at the very last second of it, the Arcane Shift came back up, because the Q helps to reset that cooldown, so Fidix barely gets away. Otherwise, he would have been caught in it, because he played so aggressively.
Now, the thing we have to remember here is that was with Double Infernal Elder Drake. That was 32 extra % of damage, and they still were not able to kill anyone but Carlton Danks.
Okay, so we'll look at this. You can see Fidix got really aggressive trying to get S-Poly, but you can see right at the last second, Fidix escapes that, and it's only the ulted Alistar that gets in. The Shockwave hits the tank front line, and yes, that helps because they can start to try and delete that, but you can see Svoboda's going to try and get it right onto the back line here. He'll go down very quickly, but there's not much left for blue team. Oregon's kind of just caught there, and you're going to see Cassiopeia is now right in front of 4 members. What are you going to do, man? You're just going to get caught. There's the CC. Yes, this is going to be the a little bit of time gained, and you can see with 2 E's off of a Q, Fidix went from full health to half health. You can imagine if Cassiopeia was able to actually live for longer, that infernal damage would have made a huge difference once again. But that's kind of been how these fights have been going for Oregon State. Despite whatever advantages they get from themselves, ends up being that either Tristana or Cassiopeia are not able to deal damage for as long as they'd like. Probably lived for a long time there. But it was that Best Sniper got a little ahead of himself when he thought they might have been winning the fight. But they just weren't. They need to play in those catch situations. The 5v5 is heavily in favor of Stanford because they have a better frontline, re-engage type tools in their composition.
Ooh. That's
not true here for Oregon State. They're very, very efficient at catching any single target, even a couple of targets very quickly. But when it's the full-on 5v5, Stanford's got the tools to play it out on their terms. Especially in these small corridors. They decided to fight in the jungle where Oriana's Shockwave range is like the entire corridor. And so it's unfortunate that they went with that one, but we can see 1,000 damage every single auto attack. Sold those boots on Tristana to get the Phantom Dancer. Yeah, and this is what I mentioned earlier, where when you get to this late in the game, the death timers are so long that it could be, it doesn't matter if it's front line, back line, someone, if they get caught. Like this. Ooh, like nice arcane shift to dodge out the stretching strike. Need to be really careful. If someone gets caught, that could spell game for either team. It would take a little bit longer. It might be less certain for Stanford because they have so much more to push to get in the base. But you can see top lane. They could just break the base and end it in the side wave if they happen to be near there and death timers are there. But you can see for either of these teams, everything is on the line here. This is either game 3 or Stanford takes this and knocks Oregon State out of contest for playoffs, right? Because Oregon State is coming in. They haven't gotten a game win, and they're set up to get a win right here. The gold is so close, and 43 minutes in, it doesn't make that much of a difference. They've got so many towers, and the split push looks to be pretty good here for Svoboda. There's not really a good teleport ward, though. I want to point that out. It's down there in the jungle. If a fight breaks out at the turret and there's no minions, you have to have the Thresh Lantern. That's all you can choose to teleport to, and that's kind of scary. Or, you know, worst case scenario, it ends up being a Zac Woblet, but that sounds pretty bad. That would be terrible, and that is not what you want. Now, we are down to about 30 seconds before this Baron spawns, as does the inhibitor. Both of them coming up here pretty quick. Something I like from Stanford is you see the Knight's Vow on 2 members. You see one on Sejuani to give to Oriana, and you see the other on Alistar given to Ezreal. Jax is durable enough in dodging auto attacks with his E, so don't need to do that there. But all that extra armor is going to stop a lot of S-Poly's damage. But now they are setting up for this Baron. It looks like Oregon State has the inside track. They deal a ton of damage with that double Infernal on Cassiopeia. What the melt?
But it is stolen! It is stolen by Fidix, and he is shielded. Let's bounce, keep Sejuani in. The ultimate is wasted. Dolce Bunke gets hit. She is going to go down next, and Reincarnation jumps in, but that's a great shockwave. Carlton Danks is in. Svoboda's on the back line, wants to get Dolce, but he is taking so much damage. There's a resurrection now for the Jax. He will be down next. He is deleted, but now Svoboda is the only one on the backside. Fat J jumps in. Fidix is dealing so much damage, but so is S. Poly. Dolce goes golden, but now all the damage is there. Fidix destroys him. Svoboda is in now. Fidix is going to go down. This might be the end of the game for Oregon State. That fight was amazing.
Back and forth, so close. You thought it was over a few different times there with people getting caught, but it ends up the turnarounds just insane. We'll get a replay of that in a moment if they can't end. It looks pretty close. There's 10 seconds left on Clans, and you can see that Carlton Danks will be up at 25, but they've got a Cannon Wave and Triforce here on Svoboda. They might be looking to end the game. It's just Mr. PBH, and he doesn't have his... Oh, he does have his ultimate now.
Okay. Clans is up. He throws the ultimate. It only hits Zac. Svoboda is fighting underneath the turret instead of trying to take the turret. He takes the Dark Passage. Reincarnation is there.
They're going to back up. So let's get a replay of that Baron. You're going to see it start with the Ezreal steal. Man, like, I'm so excited to see this happen. It was such a close fight. Okay, so the Ezreal had just stolen. He uses QSS to get out of it. You can see they just focus down the Sejuani. She's mostly just hit points, as you mentioned, Hadre. But the Death Sentence into Cleanse, flash away. They clump up to the chase. Nice multi-man shockwave, and that's going to be a GA on Svoboda, so he knows that he can go into the backline. He tries to stall. You can see S. Poly trying to keep Fat J alive through this redemption, trying to get away Carlton J. That's going to be his GA. Zac shows back up, but the headbutt from PBH made sure that this fight wasn't a stomp. Svoboda has to back away. Fidix tries to chase down, but you can see the body block from Fat J makes a difference. There's the hourglass on the backside because Poly's ready to do these resets, but he's going to get 100 to 0 very quickly, but he does alley-oop over the wall, and that's going to be the stun. Booncake is going to die during the duration of the stun on Fidix, and then the nice death sentence, Fat J with the amazing Thresh play, making some moves here, plus triple threes. He's going to help his team push in, but now this could be double Elder in favor of Oregon State if they're able to secure this. Remember, they're blue team, and they're finally getting their vision in control. Espali a little bit split from his team. You know that Ezreal has the burst, so you don't want to actually take that on the side.
We have to remember that the double Elder Drake is massively bigger than it used to be, going up to 139 extra damage here. Your Elder Drake does count as a Drake in your stacking as well, I believe. So it would be like having a fourth Drake when you get this second Elder.
This could be so crazy if this can actually go in their favor. You can see it's a little bit of poke down on Best Sniper, and they're pushing out mid lane as best they can. They've got the supers to help them with that. This probably needs to be with the team. Death Sentence goes a little wide. They're going to start this up, though. Mountain's on the side of Stanford, though. Remember, they lost the Baron to Fidix, getting a nice steal.
Now I think they need to be really careful here. They are split. Reincarnation has to jump away. There are no GAs on anybody. There's a teleport going to be coming here from Carlton Danks, but that auto attack was massive as Poly is there. Booncake goes in, but he gets interrupted somehow. I didn't think you could even do that. There's a shockwave. That's the end of the fight there because Svoboda is down, but S. Poly on the backside. He gets hit by Carlton Danks. He jumps away. Mr. PPH is going to be taking a ton of damage too. He is not killed. That's a nice ultimate from Tristana to knock him away. No stun on the counter-strike, and he leaps in! Static Shiv does pick up the kill. One more auto attack for Mr. PPH and Fidix, and it is S. Poly destroying the Stanford lineup.
League of late game at this point. We're almost 50 minutes into this match, Audrey, and look at all that damage that came out. They're going to be looking to get this push against Carlton Danks. Remember, there's still 35 seconds on just a tank that would show up to try and hold this push. You can see double super minions in the mid lane are going to be pushing in. There was already low health onto that next stairs. They're just going to forgo it. They're looking for this. S-Poly's really, really strong. Here comes the counter-strike. He's trying to stay alive.
Oh, nice ultimate from Best Sniper, dealing so much damage. They get the inhibitor, and then they take down the Nexus turret. It is a 1v2. Carlton Danks is so low if he just stands on the miasma. But Superman, we got our game win. We got our series. We're going to game number 3.
Oregon State pick up their first win. That's the Nexus Explosion. Congratulations to them. It's 1-1. We are going to Game 3. I'm hitting that sub button. You guys better stick around. We'll be right back with Game 3. Oh my goodness, the turnaround here from Oregon State, man. Oh,
that's what I'm talking
amazing.
about.
I mean, Stanford looks clean. Oregon State looks like they're not giving it up. We're going to give you one last little replay of that fight because it looks so crazy.
It was
Watch
amazing.
for that interrupt on the Hextech Ultimatum. Let's go to it real quick. You can see the Hextech Ultimatum almost goes in, but the Pulverize interrupts it. It goes on full cooldown. You can see at the bottom of the screen. Watch S. Pauly and Best Sniper. They're just going to DPS down everyone. Clans' ult is ticking. Or excuse me, not Clans. You got the Alistar ult is ticking for a little bit longer. PBH is going to try and hold for his team. The QSS comes through, and Pauly's going to try and reset this fight, but you can see now there's no ultimate for the Alistar. He's just basically a walking health potion for S. Pauly. Exhaust times out for just a moment. Onto Carlton Danks. That was
great.
Amazing with the Buster Shot to actually get that distance. You can see the grounded makes so much of a difference. Carlton Danks barely makes it there. The static shiv gets transferred. Oriana falls. And this is where the headbutt pulverized combo is going to try and hold off Espali. But Carlton's like, I ain't going back in. And Phoenix is like, who do I attack? I can't kill them both at the same time. And that's going to be the end of the fight. The DPS is just insane. And they'll push for the win off of that. It was just amazing to watch. Fight after fight after fight. Back and forth the whole game. Up to 50 minutes, Jihadre. Man. My voice is going to kill me by the end of the night, but I'm so hyped. I'm going to hit that sub button as soon as we get back from the break. Hold me to that. Join us in just a moment. Few minutes, give them a breather and set up their drafts for Game 3. We'll be right back with Stanford versus Oregon State University. PACG returns on this channel in just a few minutes. And we are back.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome, college esports fans. We're here. We're going to go into Game 3. Jihadre, Game 3. We got OSU versus Stanford. OSU, nitty-gritty fight.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm like bouncing in my seat here. I'm super excited and, of course, trying to do a little cosplay of the OSU gold lead. But, man, it was back and forth the entire game. Stanford with convincing Game 1. OSU back and forth. Game 2 ends up pulling it out. It's the Tristana pick, man. It's the Tristana
Every
pick.
single
so
game.
Excited.
It's the curse of this series. It's Tristana. If you want to end a series, ban it.
Yeah.
If you're not on blue side, ban it. Just get it out of here because it's not going to win.
It was S-Poly and Best Sniper Africa playing those late game scalers with Gathering Storm even, I'm being told. That they're just playing so strong, so much late game damage, double Infernals and some Elder Dragon buffs. It's all crazy. I mean, they had the double Elder at the end there, right?
No, they never got it.
Yeah, I thought those.
No. That was the first one. Then they won the fight and did the push because they got 4 of them. It was only Jax against Tristana and Cassiopeia.
Well, we're excited to cast this last match. I am Jake, Superman Cast and more. You can follow me on Twitch, Twitter, everything. My website, supermancast.com. Jihadre, man.
Ben Jihadre Sorensen, same things, just Jihadre right there that you can see on your screen.
Super excited. Game 3. Champion Select is already ready for us. Let's get right in to Champion Select here. The draft coming your way. You can see 1-1. We're going here to Game 3. First ban, Cassiopeia. Best Sniper, you ain't playing that anymore.
No.
Too clean, man. The damage was massive.
What a good ban. Gangplank coming out here for Oregon State again. I like this other one. Camille banned for Stanford. 2 of the really key picks. I think that was one of the biggest things we have to talk about. Camille got ahead of the Jax and did amazing work in those later game team fights. Cassidy banned out. Galio banned out. Oregon State. Buddies, get rid of the Tristana. I don't want to see it. We know that Fidix plays it. Will they do it, or do they go with something else here?
It's all these solo lane bans, man. You don't
crazy.
Want that happening again. Maybe they're setting up Carlton Danks here for Stanford to have a little bit more success like he's done in other games. He just fell behind in that one. It looked pretty good in laning phase.
Yeah, he was.
But then he just like was a non-factor, it felt like. Really nice ultimates, the buster shots, reposition that guy. Those are pretty clean. And that's going to be the early lock-in of the Zac. It's going to get taken away from Oregon. They had it last game.
Yeah.
I don't think it was as important to their composition as that pick is. Sorry, Jihadre.
I know, right?
There is going to be a Tristana in this game, and Best Sniper, maybe it's a little about it. Probably Best Sniper is going to get that Rise pick. It was banned out last game. They get it.
It was both games. It was banned both games, and I think it's good. Rise is really strong, especially with the changes. Like we keep talking about it, but it's still important. All those mid lane changes, he gets a bunch of extra damage. He gets a bunch of extra shield. Really, really strong pick. In fact, Jat on the analyst desk, when they said that 8.4 is going to start this weekend, he said Rise is banned, just hands down. But now we do see Stanford locking in the Zaya, but not the Rakan. Instead, they go with the Taric. It was banned out last game. Mr. PBH probably going to do really good work on that.
You hope to see it happen here. His Alistar was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
There was one point where he had an accidental headbutt that kind of like killed Ezreal. Was it through? I believe he threw the Camille at him.
Oh,
that was like in the mid game.
That was awesome.
Everybody's forgotten about that because all they saw was Tristana and Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia gets banned out though. Tristana's here, and there's that Gnar that we saw. Interesting ban from Stanford. It wasn't trolling, I guess, because it comes through. But they're going to ban out the Darius. Carlton Danks. No more Carlton Dunks.
No.
He's not with that champion.
No, and I want to see the Urgot ban after that because, nope, it is Orianna. They decided that Dolce was too strong.
I think that was pretty good. Dolce Poon, one of the main people keeping them in it, to be honest. His multi-man 3-4. I don't think he got a 5-man, but he got multiple 3- and 4-man shockwaves that reset fights in really good ways for Stanford and made it really hard for Oregon State to end that game.
So I like the Sejuani ban as well. It's going to force reincarnation back onto the Jarvan that he played in the first game. I think that that's okay because Jarvan is really strong. I don't know why you would... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, right? You're not matching anything. All the picks are there. It doesn't matter who you pick right now. They already have their support. They already have their jungler. So we are going to find out the rest of Stanford's composition here. Man, into the Gnar. They banned the Camille. You know, Fiora does decently well. I really think Urgot's going to be a good pick to pick in this, especially because we've seen Carlton Danks play it. I think he even played it. There it is. It is locked in. I want to say he beat Anar with it. Let me see here. Yeah. Both games he played Urgot was against Nar, so he is comfortable in this matchup here. So that's good news for Stanford and Carlton Danks himself. But now we need to see that it's a Zoe. Zoe does get locked in here for Dolce.
That's interesting. I have not seen him play that. So I'm really curious to see how comfortable he is on that, how comfortable he is into the matchup with Rise.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say is you had Zoe, Azir, Rise, and Corki, the big four in the mid lane before all of these changes into the items. So, I mean, she did get nerfed, but she's still good. Like that's the biggest thing is she is still the same, just it's easier to fight her.
It's that nerf after nerf after nerf, you know? I wonder how much that matters. In Game 3, right, this is a lot on the line for Oregon State. If they lose this, yes, they got a game win, but that's your third match loss, and you're out of postseason, right? And that's real rough, especially feeling that this early on. But you can see the Zoe pick is curious to me. Pretty good win rate here on Dolce. I just looked up to make sure I knew what I was talking about. His pretty good win rate. Doesn't play it a ton. I think that's due to it's just like fallen out of favor recently, especially in solo queue. But if you know how to play that champion, and especially if your team knows how to play around that champion,
oh, for sure.
You can imagine it can spell good things for Stanford. You know, everybody is aware of that late game bubble.
It's so strong.
The bubble trouble. It can lock someone down, and unless they have a QSS, they're in deep bubble trouble, and they can get deleted. You know how bad it can be if we get into another 50-minute game, even if it's, say, Nar that gets caught out. He's the one who gets the bubble on him. He's done. Now what? Now what? You're down 4v5 in a late game fight. You're not winning that fight very easily.
No, definitely not.
At all. Not even close.
Well, especially because you get increased damage from the bubble. If it lands and they're asleep, they take extra damage. So that's one of the biggest reasons you can see that one shot. It is the range and damage of the Paddle Star, but it's the increase coming from the bubble that just, it ruins all of the things. I don't like Zoe.
I don't like it. I don't like the fact that she can one-shot people. Honestly, I think I'm okay with one-shots if they're just damage, but the fact that it's the crowd control, that's insane, and then it amps the damage, right? Like that's just insane to me, right? I don't like it because there's little to no counterplay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with champions that force QSS builds, like Malzahar and stuff like that, but that's because there's other counterplay, there's other ways to play around dying to it. But the fact that you can get hit by a bubble, and then even if she doesn't hit you, it'll amp damage, that's just like crazy.
And the range increasing over terrain, and the fact that it turns into a field on the ground as well. Like, you think you made it, and then it goes, bop, nope, hit ya.
Yeah, it just sticks around. You have to avoid that entire area. It's just insane to me. I mean, I've watched plenty of LCK matches where even on previous patches, and I'm sure it'll still remain a pocket pick of this kind of caliber, where you just pick that Zoe, and then all of a sudden, late game, the other team's without a native carry.
Yeah.
You just randomly caught him somehow. And yes, it takes good skill because it's all skill shots and stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you get that much reward out of one good choice, I think that's a little overpowered, right? I would be okay with Paddlestar having that amped damage, but only if you actually land that spell. Not that you get free crowd control. I mean, it's a skill shot, so it's not free. But it feels free because the width of it is pretty crazy. It's a pretty fast spell, too.
Yeah.
It gets bonus range going over walls, which means if you have vision, then it's basically a free win because you can't miss something that has that much width. And when you have vision, then they can't see it coming. I don't know, man. I want to see Dolce show me why he picked this champion for Game 3, though.
Yeah.
Because picking such a high-risk, high-reward champion has got to make the difference for you if you saved it for the big match. Game 3. Big game here. It matters. Win or go home.
It's also because the Kassadin and the Orion are both banned out. I think that makes you dig a little deeper into your champion pool. But other things I want to see are the interactions with Svoboda and Reincarnation, because now you have the counter-strike stun on your side, and the bonus damage from the third hit on Gnar. Maybe that is something that can stop the Urgot, because last time it didn't work.
Yeah. The Urgot has come through. Carlton Danks on that champion. We saw him pop off on last time. It helped his team get to Game 3, right?
Yeah.
And it helped him do well enough to scale into that monstrous team fight. But team fight after team fight was won by who? What champion?
It was Tristana.
Yeah.
It was Tristana.
Yeah, pains you to say it.
It
You're like,
really does.
But guys and gals, this is Game 3. Stanford versus OSU. OSU finally on the board with their first game win. They could make it a match win if this Tristana can do work for them again. And you know what? I'm happy to say it's alongside of Braum. That Winter's Bite into the concussive blows that, because there's a lot of auto attackers, that's my point here.
Oh, definitely.
Jax, Gnar, Tristana, even Rise weaves in some auto attacks every so often.
Well, it's because they increased his range. It's so much longer than it used to be.
Mainly auto attack based champions coupled with that Braum. You can imagine the crowd control score that this Braum is going to have late game. I'm excited to see it. We're going to load here onto Summoner's Rift. Again, Superman casting. Juhadre, we're bringing you here onto Summoner's Rift for Game 3, Stanford versus Oregon State University. This is win or go home, folks.
Even being so late, my energy is so much higher than it should be at, pretty much midnight here.
We are 3 minutes to midnight in both reality and in metaphor. This is the edge of victory here for both of these teams. You can see they're looking for a 5-man stack here. Oregon State hoping to get some cheese if they can, but the safety here set up here for Stanford. They're not looking for anything beyond their own jungle. Gonna have what looks to be standard starts in the jungle. Just the leashes on the bottom side of the map and help their junglers get started. Reincarnation, a lot more damage, of course, than Clans here on the Zac. Jack's going to have a little bit more pressure, but he takes a little bit longer to clear because he doesn't have that much AoE.
Yeah, it's only in the Counter-Strike, but he does have significantly higher single target damage with the Leap Strike, and I forget his W's name. But let's see how good they look.
Win or go home, says Zac, and yes, that is exactly the position we are in for both these teams. Again, it's just going to be the standard jungle starts. College esports fans, this is the big game. Stanford versus Oregon State. Oregon State fighting for their lives. Postseason is on the line for them. If they win, they get a chance to continue, but if they lose, the math checks out. Hashtag they did the math. And Oregon State won't have a chance to bring it back to get themselves into the postseason because they'll be in those bottom 2 slots of their 5 members of their division. You got to be in those top 3 to make it to the postseason. Juhadre, this is a hypey match.
It indeed is hype, and I think that explains the 2 stopwatches here. There weren't that many in the last couple of games, and now they have them. They have one on Zoe. They have one on Tarek. We can see amazing Tarek plays going to come out of that. We actually, you know what? Mr. PBH had one, a Tarek stopwatch. I wanted to say Zanya so bad right there. The stopwatch play underneath the turret is going to look really, really good.
Yeah, what it does for you on the Tarek here is if you have the stopwatch, you can play a little bit more aggressively and look for those stuns without the risk of getting 100 to 0'd and feeling real bad because you were setting something up for your team and then you just died. You can set things up for your team, bait them into thinking they'll get a kill on you, hit quick hotkey, and you're safe for at least that one play. And hopefully that set things up really well for your team and get you a little bit of gold lead so that next time you have the tankiness that you need rather than that quick spell.
So looking here across the lanes, everything's looking pretty even, minus a couple CS in the top lane. That is a Dazzle onto S Poly, no root from the Feathers.
Yeah, they're just looking to trade back and forth. Bottom lane pretty equal. A little bit of a gold lead here for Fidix. You can imagine that being the case, though. We've talked multiple times about Tristana. Struggles a little bit to get that CS in the early game. Messes some up for herself. But not going to fall too far behind is the hope here for any span of Oregon State. But you can see Clans snuck here into the lane. Could be a counter gank. Or if he completes that recall, that could be really sad for Carlton because he thinks he's super safe to be up here. Ooh, it gets canceled. What will happen? Here we go.
Reincarnation is ready to go in, but Clans is there. Counter-Strike is up. There is the knock-in. It does not get the root, but the stretching strike is there. That's a flash from Svoboda. Still taking a lot of damage. Nice counter gank.
Whew. That was close. Nice mechanical play by Carlton Danks. He tosses in Svoboda to get the double knock-up for Clans, and they force away the flash from Svoboda. He's going to get a little bit healthy here. He's chugging those potions, and of course, the Dorans will help him regenerate. A little bit more bonus health come through if he can hit that Meganar, but it's better for him to be able to stay from range at this point. He's scared to transform until he absolutely needs to.
Well, even when you do transform, it gives you hit points, attack damage, and resistances. And even if you just transform and hang out in the back, you don't need to attack anything. You keep those hit points. That's something I was able to find out on my personal stream, just watching those numbers. It's a lot more powerful than some people give it credit for being. Mega Gnar is amazing.
Yep. Completely changes the play style of the character when you're in that form. Speaking of play styles, very different here in the mid lane. Rise always wanting to just burst out the wave, push it in. We'll be looking for that Realm Warp to help his team. But down here is a fight. That's the exhaust already gone through. Both teams.
Flash, leap strike, no counter strike. But they do have the auto attacks. They want to get out though. Flash is burned. Teleport is canceled.
I like that choice. The last couple, like second and a half or so, cancels the teleport. Carlton Dank's going to have the reduced cooldown. Now, Gnar has his, but he doesn't have an opportunity to show up just yet. But I like the choice to cancel it because they had already flashed, right? You get the 2 flashes for that teleport. Now you don't need to show up. They've already created the distance to keep themselves safe, so don't over-chase. Don't push your luck. Stay up there. Get your CS. Try and push that advantage that you got for yourself over now a flashless top lane as well.
But in goes Clans. He gets the stretching strike, knocks them in. Best Sniper Africa is still pretty okay. He dodges out the Paddle Star, deals some decent damage back. Doing pretty well. Ooh, and he got the bounce there. Nice work.
Best Sniper feeling clean from his Cassiopeia play. He knows how to kite back and still deal damage. Survives the gank with both his summoner spells. Says, yeah, what of it? I'm totally fine. I'm fine. I'm Rise. I just run around, dodge everything out with my bonus move speed. Don't take any damage because I got a shield in my kit too. What you gonna do about it?
He's gonna deal damage under turret. And ooh, Dolce throwing the Paddle Star back the wrong way. Interesting. But now, Carlton Danks, let's talk about this guy again because he is ahead. In the ranged versus slightly less ranged matchup, he has Svoboda up against the ropes, 10 CS up.
See if he can
that's rough.
Clean that up. There's a huge wave approaching, so he might be able to get those numbers a little bit closer. You can see Carlton Danks super comfy on this champion. We've seen him pop off on it before. Right now he's got, as you said, decent gold lead. It'll diminish a little bit near this turret, but you can see he's doing work.
Ooh, there we go. Yeah, it is down to only 6 instead of the 10 or 11 it was. I love that the minion is holding the balloon behind his shield. Like you can see the string. It's adorable.
All right, looking down here in the bottom lane, remember that the flashes were used pretty much back and forth. The numbers are starting to be there for Fidix. This happened last game too, if you recall. He had that early gold lead from mostly just those CS numbers. Ooh, the return will be enough. Oh, Winter's fight.
Yeah, Fat J gets blocked by a minion. It's one of the worst feelings ever if you're a Braum player.
Yeah, and you
I
can
hate it when that happens.
Generally speaking, when your junglers are doing their second rotation of buffs, your lanes are going to play rather safe. They know that they don't have any jungle help. This is where either cheese happens, where a jungler shows up with just 1 buff and sneakily gets a gank off, or, more commonly, everybody's going to just kind of take a breather, and you might have mid laners roaming. Zoe's in the top lane, unable to get anything out of it, but looking for some pressure up there on the flashless Svoboda on the Gnar.
I think they need to do that quick because Svoboda's flash is coming off a cooldown relatively soon. And we can see S-Poly still has his. He rocket jumps away, dodges out the dazzle. But now Reincarnation is here. He jumps forward, does not land the counter-strike, but the Winter's Bite is there. That's the Realm Warp coming in from Rise. He can get the root, but the untargetable Fidix. Nice root, stun onto 3. S-Poly needs to do something, but is so far away from that fight. The disengage coming from Stanford was amazing. There's the drowsy. Asleep is Svoboda.
Whoa!
And the ultimate comes in. First blood for Carlton Danks on the Urgot. That execute was amazing.
Oh, man. Oregon State may have best sniper Africa, but I'm telling you, Carlton Danks, man, best sniper summoners. Riff!
Yeah.
Gets a nice shot there. That's going to be his ultimate. The true damage is enough to take that kill. That's going to be first blood, if you'll believe it. Took us 9 minutes to get there, but that's going to be a healthy 600 gold lead, which is that first blood. Essentially just the first blood makes that difference, but it's going on to Carlton Danks, man. That's a scary Urgot if I've ever seen one.
It isn't just that he got that snipe here. The last couple games we saw him play this, he nailed every single ultimate. -1. We saw one that didn't hit a champion. And then all the rest hit low hit point champions and got the execute. And here he goes again.
The ultimate hack, right? Stack on ultimate hack when he missed the one time.
No, it was a decent dodge, but I love seeing that. It's the meme.
You can see Rise taking a lot of damage. With now the Lost Chapter, you can see the spam capability. Remember, Lost Chapter includes 10% CDR, so even on top of just the mana that it grants you and mana regeneration on your level up, it's going to give that extra CDR for Zoe to just be rushing this and trying to get all of that poke damage down. She's going to get pushed in a lot faster, a lot harder. The lane priority definitely going to be there for the Rise. You can see that CS lead is actually getting there pretty high up for best sniper. He's doing his job in mid lane.
We're going to jump into a pause here, and that gives us a chance here to look at the gold values as opposed to just the CS numbers, because it's matched with the Urgot lead over Gnar and the small one of Xayah over Tristana right now. So these teams only about 200 gold apart. Probably, like you said, because of the first blood, because Urgot is doing really well, keeping so far ahead of the Gnar. He's just so durable. Like, that's the thing, is he doesn't take enough damage.
And it was in the draft. Remember, this is Oregon's life on the line. So the draft can tell you a lot about what they're willing to put their faith in. First round, red side. You get 2 picks to answer the Zac. What do you choose? You don't match it with a jungler. You say Tristana. And who else? The Rise. And who's doing the best for their team right now? The Rise, right? He's the one that we haven't seen yet. The Tristana we know will get there. Because even last game when it wasn't working out early, the late game came through. Ooh, nice dodge of the gank in the top lane. But that Rise, look at that. 20 CS lead. That's nothing to scoff at. That's 3 full waves and then some.
Definitely. And it's been banned against best sniper, so it's good to see that. Now they need to be careful because Zac is still here, but Reincarnation is there. He gets the counter strike, and now burning the flash from Clans. That's the first counter gank to go in Oregon State's favor this game. Well done.
Really good, really patient to set that up. Svoboda trying to make sure that it wasn't obvious.
Speaking of setting up, Fidix only needs one more auto attack to be stunned. As Polly is not there. Flash forward from Mr. PBH as Polly uses the Buster Shot to get him out. I am amazed that Root barely hits S. Polly. Deals a ton of damage to his hit points too. And now we have to be really careful. There is vision for Dolce to go down here and try and get this kill. Reincarnation is on his way.
Be careful about that bubble on the backside there. Oh my goodness, that is the damage that comes through from just the Lost Chapter plus Amtome. They don't know that Reincarnation is on the side. Remember, he's really good at showing up when they hope he's not
Realm
there.
Warp. And he flashes forward, he gets the stun underneath the turret. Fidix gets slowed. He gets hit 3-4 times, and now the explosion is there before the Cosmic Radiance can happen. Best Sniper Africa on the backside does get the root because he is not invulnerable. Dolce does go down. Auto attacks there. They get the stun. All 3 of them are stunned at the same time. Mr. PBH goes down. Double kill for Best Sniper Africa. Exactly what you said. He is the guy to watch this game before S. Polly can scale.
Oh man, they barely in time get Fidix, and you can see his heal's almost back up. Not in time though. Right before the Cosmic Radiance completes its channel, they are able to take him down. Reset comes through, and they just chase everyone else down. Nice call in the Realm Warp there. Geodre coming in on the backside. Then, of course, the Jacks with the flash to start everything off. Really nice play here from Oregon State. They're looking to get first brick, and it's donated all over here to S. Poly on the Tristana. I like that choice. I always love to see it. Even though I'm a sport man myself, I like to get some of that gold too. I like donating over to that 80 carry so they can scale even faster. 650 gold is a lot of gold, especially on top of the 300 from that kill in the bottom lane. That's 1,000 gold. You can see that BF sword now in the inventory. Crit Cloak almost gonna be that Infinity Edge. Only 13 minutes in here. You can see that's a lot more. No, and he's already got the tier 2 boots plus a dagger for that next seal item he intends to build. You can imagine if he didn't have the dagger in his inventory, the attack speed from earlier of his purchase, that he might have been able to even complete the Infinity Edge already. At 13 minutes, that's pretty good. That's not super early, but it's early for sure.
Yeah. You know, bigger items like that, bigger, more expensive, like the Trinity Force, like the Infinity Edge, those are more around your 12, 13 minutes that are fast, like you were saying. But other items like...
Whoa!
Ooh, nice! Wow! Almost like it curved or something.
Yeah.
I know it was a straight line, but
ending it like
was really
Beckham,
good.
threading the needle for sure. Showing us that the Zoe pick isn't a fluke. It's by choice here. It's by design.
Yeah, it
He's
is.
confident that he can land the skill shots, which is what you need to do if you're playing this champion.
So far, you know, losing, it's 30 CS to whatever. 25 CS down, a death to the 2 kills, but doing work, like you said, able to do the damage and the skill behind it. That's what's more important than how the numbers are there, because the team fighting is where Zoe is going to become the most annoying, able to wrap those spells around, land the Sleepy Trouble bubbles. Those are the things we're going to need to see.
Yeah, it's those champions that are strong no matter how far behind they are, because there's a spell in their kit, like the Malzahar Ultimate, Nether Grasp, or the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, where it forces a certain build path.
Ooh, Fat J totally dodges everything by doing what? Going the opposite direction you would think. Now there is a stopwatch burn. Dolce is going to be stunned, but the ultimate does save that. There are back pings. Best Sniper Africa on a killing spree. Takes his 4th turret shot, but now they need to be really careful. They do take the blast cone. I think they're going to make it out.
Yeah, there's Realm Warp just in case they're in more trouble than they feel like. But, man, I mean, that was really clean. Honestly, that looked really good from Dolce Pooncake. He wasn't sure that he was getting ganked. He didn't have any knowledge of it, but even with the gank, then he was able to be really smart. He almost was able to survive.
There are more ganks to be had. Reincarnation getting the counter-strike, and then we can see the damage coming out from the W on the Gnar. Looks like a big fight here in the mid. S. Poly and Fat J are there to stop this push.
Yeah, Stanford just trying to answer that turret lead, right? You can see the top lane, Carlton Danks on that dank pick. Ooh, this is scary.
It is really scary because he dodged it. He dodged the ultimate and gets his own, and Carlton Danks. How did that even happen? He buffered the Gnar with the, what is it called, Terrorize or something, where he jumps forward?
If it's not called Terrorize, it ought to be, because
Yeah,
right now,
oh my
he
gosh.
is terrorizing Oregon State. You've got to be curious and scared of how you can deal with this champion. Carlton Danks now 2-0. He's really, really strong. He's got 150 CS to boot. They're going to back off. Now they got 2 turrets to 0, though. Their gold lead is at 3,000 or so. There's soon to be some turrets taken here by Stanford for sure. Those outer ones are getting pretty low across the entire board. But Carlton Danks still playing confident, playing aggressive, playing strong. Even with the flash down and the flash coming through for Svoboda, he turns that around, gets a kill. You don't want to dive that turret if you're not absolutely certain.
All right, it is called Disdain. Oh. Rip.
Speaking of disdain, I'm not feeling too excited about that play.
No, that wasn't so good.
Luckily, no one else was there to see it. See what?
Yeah,
right?
oh, yeah, totally. Just looking up it is Disdain. That is what it's called. It's not Terror. It was the Terror Capacitor before the rework was the shield. But now we're going to see another engage. A nice stun here. But look at all that damage coming out of Zoe. Let's bounce, throws them back in. Fat J is going to try and get out. Unable to save Best Sniper Africa, but does save his own life.
Yeah, nice play there from Clans. Catching them out. making sure to land that stretching strike, gets them together. They're stunned up, so he starts that starts out that let's bounce, pulls them back in. That's going to net them a kill plus a turret.
Oh, he walked back into it. He walked back into the bubble, and that's what I was saying. Oh, one more auto attack would have taken physics out. He got the summoner heal, and he got his ultimate.
My goodness, literally 20 health was left there on that champion. Reincarnation's really close. He does not have flash.
No, but because he has this the Cinder Hulk, if he had just got close enough, he would have killed her.
So close. You can see that. Wave is pushing in the bottom lane, though. They're looking for the mid-tier 2.
Yeah, I think that's the play here. Except that Zoe can clear a wave. I thought they fixed that.
It does reduce damage, but when you've got a Ludens...
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so now, after that fight... ooh, don't walk into that. That's what your support did. He got killed. He got deaded.
All right, this is going to be a second Cloud Drake. Not as exciting as the other elementals we've seen early on in this series. Ooh, the crit's come through. The Zeal is completed, and that's a lot of attack speed. This is not lethal tempo, but rather the fleet footwork for that extra healing. They're setting up for this. They do have relatively good vision of the area. They should be able to secure it. You see Smite's available level 11 to level 10. So the Smite is an extra level. They're going to pull it even further, too.
I think that that's really smart. Some of the best plays. Uh-oh, here we go. He jumps in. Will he use the Smite? Red team does get it. Clans now is going to get stunned. He's going to get double stunned into the passive form. Let's see if they can take him out.
Who do they give it to? Is it going to be the Tristana? Yes, it is. They're
nice
donate that
work.
Over very cleanly. Going to back up, take those waves, but that's Dragon plus Clans.
The kill on the jungler.
Yeah, and that was not just the kill, it was plus the passive, which is pretty important as the game will go on, because you don't really want to go in as Zac if you don't have your passive, if you're not to the point where you're super, super tanky. Luckily, he's not terribly behind by any means.
No, not at all.
He's not fed, and so he's not as tanky as he'd like to be if he doesn't have that passive.
And so here's the plug for the Jax jungle. Once you hit level 6, you become tankier just by activating your ult. Your attack damage and ability power become armor and magic resistance respectively. And so you're a little bit more flexible in your build path. Look, he's going to go for the Trinity Force next. He's already got that Cinder Hulk. He's got hit points to, make those resistances worth it.
Honestly, I'd rather even see him, because the Carlton Danks here on the Urgot is getting kind of scary. Zaya's going to scale pretty well. I would rather see, rather than Trinity Force, just bear with me here, he's not going to do it, but I'd rather see him build the Gauntlet. And then just get health and health and health and health and health, because you're just going to end up being super, super tanky, and you're going to have that damage regardless. You're going to, at some point, be building that Titanic Hydra off those health items. I just don't think you need the extra damage, right? Your Rise is really strong. Tristana's going to scale. What you need to do is be that stun bot, essentially. Make sure that you're alive to land the auto attacks to help.
Ooh, nice choice. Cannot be stopped. But now Fat J is all alone. He is probably going to get hit. He gets disdained right back in. Reincarnation is here, but they see him, so they don't want to keep going.
And there's a fight in mid lane, though.
Best Sniper does make it out, but that's the ultimate out of Taric with no one. It was pretty wasted right there. Nice disengage, but now Mega Gnar is ready. He throws the giant ice penguin, which, honestly, second best skin. Oh, dodging out the stun with the Featherstorm, getting the root, but a great Gnar throws Clans back. Best Sniper Africa is trying to do the damage, but as Polly is there, watch Urgot on the top side, but now Dolce does not die, get a stun onto the Taric, and that's a kill double now for the Jax. Carlton Danks is here. He wants to land an ultimate. He hasn't missed one yet. Svoboda's really low. He'd probably get the execute. There's a disdain forward, but he does not risk it. He heard us talking about his perfect record.
He is looking for it. They're going to back off. Don't want to take that risk. No need to, honestly. You just want the fight. Just back off if you're Oregon State.
Now, we are 2,000-ish gold ahead for Oregon State. That was a great fight. Started, man, they are burning Fidix's spells left and right. Every single time someone throws anything at him, he just ults. And with that gone, that means let's go.
I mean, good on him. You can see that's right off the edge of his ultimate. He doesn't get quite caught by Svoboda's flash ultimate. but this sets the fight up pretty well. It's split behind this wall, right? So you can see, as Spally's trying to start off this fight and get a lot of damage, he's going to get a reset on his jump off the bomb. Reincarnation forces the flash of the wall. You can see he's just going to get in here and try and get those resets. Dolce Pooncake lives with 100 health or less, and it's just the Urgot being slightly late to the fight. He thought that it wasn't going to be one, so he started heading top lane. Unfortunate for them.
Yeah, but now he is in the top lane. I want to see the pincer. I want to see them get it. Gnar is already on his way. You've got Braum, you've got Jax. Got to get there quick, though. He is backing. He does make it out. It was a good attempt, but the vision that they had keeps Carlton Danks alive. And that is good news for Stanford fans as well.
Oh, sure is. You're caught way out of position if you are Carlton Danks in that situation. Spamming the recall, you're lucky you got out with your life rather than having to use your teleport or something. It's surprising that they stopped for that and didn't use the Realm Warp. It was pretty much free if they just showed up.
Oh, Reincarnation is in the front. Fat J going to throw out the Winter's Bite. A lot of good damage there onto Reincarnation. Fidix not a chump in this game.
Yeah,
Still
and that's going to be
really well.
the Triforce Jax, right? He is, of course, Cinderhulk, but he has to heal up in the jungle somehow. He's got to be able to regenerate while he gets that low. But that shows you, if it's not Svoboda, he's got to be the one to start these fights. Fat J can't really just do it on his own, right? He's better at following up initiation. This could be bad news.
Gets the extra resistances from Fat J, and Unbreakable was ready. Nice play there. Fat J ready to go in as Poly, absorbing the Sleepy Trouble bubble, but now all this bonus damage is going to be amazing on Svoboda. I think he just dodged the root from Tarek, but now the ultimate makes it out. That one was effective. Reincarnation on the backside. Burns the flash from Mr. PBH. Clans is there, but Fat J gets a great ultimate. There's the Unbreakable. All the damage coming from Carlton Danks is pretty high as well, as Poly gets a lot. They're going to try and take out the Jax.
Resets?
No, the Zac, I mean, as Poly gets the double kill. He's going to jump away from the stun. He jumps in and gets the kill onto Tarek, and now onto Carlton Danks. That is a quadra kill. No Penta, because Fidix is too far away. Instead, they want to push. They have everything they need. No, they don't. They shouldn't do Baron. They don't have their jungler. I don't think that's a good idea, but are they making the call? They might just be clearing vision. Nope, they're going to go for it. They think S-Poly has the damage, and they think Fat J is taking it up.
Svoboda's on his way, and that'll make a difference. They know that Zaya's not trying to show up to make this difference, and that's important. Because if she tried to show up at all, this is really scary for them to do. But now Svoboda's going to be able to hop of the wall, hopefully.
No, he's going to save the cooldown in case of re-engage. Gnar is my top champion right now. So if the cooldown on that is so long. Yeah, it is crazy. So he wants to use the Blast Plant instead just in case something bad happens.
All right, and here we are. We're only 26 minutes in. This is 20 minutes shy of where we were last game.
Gosh.
And then some. Oregon State here with the first Baron. They've got the 2 elementals, 2 turrets to 2. You can see that gold lead is only 4,000. That's only about the gold gain from the last team fight plus the Baron, right? That's the only real difference. Now, of course, it's in a few different spots, but you can see huge gold leads top and the 80k position for Stanford. Massive gold lead in mid lane by a massive margin here for Oregon State. This Ryze is fed out of his mind.
And you know what?
Sniper, dude.
The same can be said of S-Poly. Even though she is down 40 CS on that Tristana, 6 kills.
Yep.
That's more than the Ryze has. If you were to add their KDA or their kills and assists, that's going to be 9 for each of them, so they're doing really well in that regard.
Yep.
But 6 kills is huge on S-Poly. He's already got 3 completed items with the Tier 2 boots. No real need for the QSS yet.
And look how fast the minions can run. If Svoboda walks back to him now that he's out of combat with the triple Cloud Drake.
Oh my gosh.
That's 75 bonus out of combat move speed. That's so much. For those of you who just don't know the exact numbers or how to kind of think of that in your mind, just to give you an idea, the bonus total move speed from Swifties is 65.
Oh my gosh, what?
Yeah. So you've got Swifties and then some on everybody just running around the map. So you're you are some fast dudes when you're out of combat. Oh, getting a catch in the bottom lane, though.
Ooh,
That's the flash.
Burning the flash. Now Reincarnation is there. Teleport coming. Canceled by Carlton Danks. Ooh. Good thing that hit the minion, or he would have been caught. Nice to see right here. Best Sniper Africa stats right now. He is at the 45% cooldown reduction. That means he got the extra 5 from his runes. Yep. Good stuff, because Rise already, you can machine, that's the term, right? You machine gun Rise.
Yep.
That extra 5%, it may not seem like a lot, but oh, it's a lot. Uh-oh.
Will they get the catch? The flash came through.
Blue turret destroyed on the bottom side. This S-Poly doing a lot of work. Reincarnation is there, trying to get the damage. Fat J blocks a decent amount himself with the Unbreakable, but S-Poly needs to be careful. There's a lot of range on that Elastic Slingshot. They do still have the Baroned up minions. That one is going to be there. It's about to fall off now. Probably, what would you say, 15 seconds right there?
Just about 20 seconds left or so. S-Poly just trying to do a little bit of damage to the turret while he can. Might as well. That's going to be 2 quick inner turrets now taken. 4-2s now. That turret score has been bonused up by that Baron push. Still can't take that top lane from Carlton Danks, though, man.
That guy. Oh, my gosh.
Tower defense mode. And he's been on it this whole game.
That Righteous Glory, I don't think righteous is the right word just because Urgot is so evil and dark. But, man, the glory is definitely there for Noxus. This 2-1-0.
Do they really want to go for it?
I don't think so. Meganar just burned out. He is tired, so I think they just go for the turret and call it good. Because they have the minions. Ooh, but they do have the rest of the team. The nice buffer from S-Poly. Now, he is unstoppable. A lot of ults used, but Carlton Danks gets Buster Shot away. That is a killing spree now for Fidix, and he gets Reincarnation! Nice.
Reincarnation is going to have to be exactly what he is.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to have to get reincarnated, but it's going to take him 40 seconds to do so, as they get a nice couple of catches there. 20 seconds on the support, 30 on the jungler. Unfortunately for Stanford, despite those picks that they grab in their own jungle, there's no objective for them to really steal off the end of that. You can see nice catch there by Clans, and it is going to be the Jax. Tries to get out on the edge here, gets away with barely his life, but that's going to be the support who falls, and then watch this snipe. Boom! It does connect, and that's going to be the chains coming across Jack's screen. He's out, down for the count.
Fear Beyond Death is the name of that spell. And I tell you what, getting hit by that and having the chains come across your screen, probably the scariest thing in League of Legends right now. Just, it's terrifying to watch that. Nice play coming out of Stanford, bringing their deficit to, I guess they're still about 6,000 gold down because of the Baron and the amount of push they got, but they're only 4 kills down. And getting that 3rd kill onto their Xayah with Fidix is also very important. Need to get this guy ahead too. Has the 2 high BF sword items, but we do see the last Whisper upgrade already on Tristana. Only 1 item to go.
Yeah, and it does bonus damage based on health scaling, which, what are they stacking? Well, their front line here is basically just health. Oh my goodness, that damage is insane.
S-Poly does get stunned, but so does Tarek. The quadruple crowd control there, getting rooted, and then Winter's Bite into concussive blows. Cannot escape. That was pretty messed up. That is a 1-for-0 trade.
Whew. That is so much damage. The Rise and the Tristana looking like the Tristana Cassiopeia combo we saw in Game 2 that worked out real well for Oregon State. Even if everybody else falls in a fight, if those 2 are alive, they are, what did you call it? Machine gunning out their damage.
Oh, yeah, they are.
And it's plenty for them to be able to win these fights. You can see that working out for them. They get a nice pick onto Mr. PBH. I like that Mr. PBH holds his spells, though. He knows he's done. He doesn't try and waste that Cosmic Radiance massively long cooldown, holds onto his flash, his ignite. He knows that by the time he's back up, which is now, then there's going to be multiple objectives on the map that they need to contest, and they need those key spells for. So now they do have him back. This is going to be the 4th Elemental going over to Oregon State. Elder's going to be the next on the table. It's going to be a while before that's on the map, but 15 seconds. Baron's going to be on the table. This could be the 2nd Baron for Oregon State if they can grab it.
It isn't past the 40-minute threshold to double the Baron power yet, but
It does scale, though. It goes up 2. So it's not just a
Oh.
cutoff point.
Is it?
Yeah, it scales up over time.
Oh, see, that's not what I got out of those patch notes. The more you know.
So it will be both these teams vying for vision. They need that vision if they're going to try and go for this Baron. Either of these teams could really go for it. We're 33 minutes in here. You can see the damage on both these teams.
Ooh, that's important. So is that. Fat J ready, but Reincarnation absorbed it. Nice shot there from Dolce.
Yeah, we need to see a little bit more. That could be a lot of damage too. The baits? Nope, not going to come through. It wasn't.
Ooh.
That crit is so much damage. Tristana late game. Ooh, hype.
Damage. I actually had a friend who would do that when something was intense or something. Instead of cursing, he would damage. It was very funny to me.
Tons of damage. We
Yes.
got a few Triforces in this game. Just the one, actually.
Oh, but here it is. Counter-Strike does not land, but the auto attacks did. Let's see here. Carlton Danks does get a nice Q down.
Mega Nar's being set up. We do have the pause.
Woo! Is this to, like, take a break, you know, relieve ourselves, take a drink or something like that?
Take a break.
It's gotta be, because this is insanely intense.
Yes, it is, and I love these matches. The late game is what I live for, Jihadre, because this is where the choices matter the most, right? If you can get punished a little bit back and forth in the early game, but it's really hard to just like quickly snowball lead into ending with a Nexus explosion.
Yes.
Right? Within 30 minutes, that's really hard to do. That takes a lot of clean precision, map movements, macro play, some coaching there, right? You have to set that up and practice it ahead of time. A lot of teams end up going just to this late game because they don't know how to end these games, or it's just so difficult, right? Even if they're trying, it's just so difficult. So we get to this point where it's, what, 33, 34 minutes into the game, and second Baron, 4 elementals, another Elder could come through, like the Elder could come through, and we could get to a double Elder like we did last game. This could be crazy. I know you're like, please no.
No,
but,
yeah, I'm like, please no.
Late game is where people have to make those decisions. It's all about making the decisions more than just mechanical play. Mechanical play, don't get me wrong, absolutely important. But you have to be on the same page as a team. You have to be on the ball as a player. And we're back onto the Rift.
Oh, right into it. Oh, Reincarnation is actually taken. That is bad news bears for Oregon State. He does jump to a ward, but he gets slowed. He is going to dodge some auto attacks, and they need to catch up. He is stunned by the Dazzle. Clans does slay Reincarnation, but now they need to be super careful. He was a big part of their stuff.
No jungler, so they can't really back up and go for Baron, but it was a 1-for-1 overall. On the back end there, it was the kill credit going over to Best Sniper Africa. They took out with heal and flash used on top. But Dolce Boon Cake, he was caught there on the Zoe. So damage down, but initiation is down for Oregon State. It's very hard for them to get in there. Is it, though? Do they even need to get in there? That Strata range does so much for him. Just auto-attacking with that rapid-fire cannon. 600-plus damage crits.
It's gross. I'm going to say it. It's just doing so much. S-Poly on the Tristana is so strong. We watched the exact same things happen game after game after game these last 3 weeks. Every single week it is the Tristana that ends up coming through. And if it can continue to scale, that QSS is going to turn into the Mercurial Scimitar. That's a ton more damage. And then after that, it does also give you the lifesteal. And then on top of it, wow. I'm not even going to be able to say the thing I want to say. He's going to sell the boots and get the Phantom Dancer, increase that attack speed even more. Get it. That's what's going to put him to the 100% crit. That's what's going to give him more damage reduction on the first target that he attacks. And look at this guy.
80% crit chance there, as you can see on your screen. 35% armor penetration. That's bonus armor penetration, right? That's going to help him be able to wail through that front line. You can see Zabota even here. He teleported in during the middle of that last fight. They've already started up the Baron. It's halfway gone.
And that's exactly what you need. Tristana dealing a lot of damage. Jax stacking up his passive for bonus attack speed with the... I still can't remember his W's name, and it's driving me nuts. Chat, help me out here. Anyway, they get the Baron. This is exactly what they needed to do. They still have their bot lane turret. Look at that. That is awesome. But now they have the chance to get these pushes to break open the base.
All the walls, though. Look at this, Zoe. Oh!
Ooh.
The Trouble Bubble has that much more range. It's a ton more. You can see Svoboda just kind of
laughing
bouncing up and down as he stands on the right edge of it. But you can imagine the trouble that would come from that bubble when there's only one QSS. And there's no McHale's, right? There's only just the QSS and then the cleanse for Best Sniper. That's where stuff happens. It's that bubble, the late game bubble. Will it mean the kind of trouble that Stanford needs it to for Oregon not to just walk into the base and get this for clean?
We will have to see, but there is the first one to land for this. Reincarnation wants to just take it up.
Yeah, that hurts. You can see the wave clear is super easy here for Tristana. Don't want to take that damage. Zach always looking for an engage, but I don't know if they can take these fights.
It is called Empower.
Which spell?
Jax's W is called Empower. But now as Polly gets really close there, needs to be careful. Fat J is going to put up the Unbreakable. They still do have the Baron Siege, and it looks like Gnar is in the mid lane. Svoboda trying to split, do exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah, there's that picture-in-picture. You can see how the split is there. Mega Gnar is getting there. He doesn't really want to proc it if he can help it. If he does, they need to play a little further back. Now that Mega Gnar's there, do they take this fight, or do they still stay back?
Need Fat J to block with that Unbreakable. I think you just wave clear, right? When you're the Mega Gnar, you let it out so you don't have to go underneath the turret, and then when you get tired, then you go back under with your boomerang and with your auto attacks being ranged. Nice work there from Svoboda, splitting this team, because the longer this goes, the better it is for Oregon State. These Baroned up minions are amazingly strong.
Yeah,
but
still got a minute and a half left here. They're still trying to hit that turret.
Oh, the stun onto S-Poly. He is knocked up, but he does make it out with the Buster Shot. And it looks like Gnar is running away from the Urgot, but the shutdown is in. Reincarnation goes down. Svoboda is going to go down. He gets Mega Gnar. He gets stunned. Fat J is the closest low target. And Clans is able to land that. Best Sniper Africa barely makes it out on the tail end of the Realm Warp. What just happened?
Yeah, and meanwhile, during that fight, top lane, that huge minion wave took a turret for them even. 100 to 0'd it, indeed. So now it's going to be pushing into the base. Rise is going to pick that up. That's going to be a lot of farm for him, but they lost a massive team fight. 4 for nothing, and the Elder, which of course isn't going to be a huge thing, but look at this fight. You can see Tristana gets hit with the stun. The QSS was not immediate. It needs to be, because you don't have what you need. And then you can see stands into the feathers, gets him down to
there it is,
10 health,
right
and
there.
Then the flash auto attack will do the rest. That's going to be the shutdown for the Zach. And then they just chase it down from there. That's going to be enough to flash in from Carlton Danks. He's just going to play super aggro from there on out. It's going to be enough for them to get it. And the Elder Dragon. Man, they're going to take that push. You can see back on live, they're even pushing. They caught out Best Sniper.
Reincarnation is the next target. Fat J jumps in. S-Poly is ready to deal the damage. They do disengage, but S-Poly does get another auto attack.
That makes you worry if he had brought back like a static shift.
Like last time, Svoboda is chasing. He does go drowsy. S-Poly is there as well as Fat J.
Don't want to see him just rocket jumping in blind though, because it might get turned around. Does not have what he needs. He's gonna face
he's blind! He just jumps in! S-Poly, I think you just threw the game right there, my friend. Fat J is going to take a lot of damage. Svoboda going to try and peel with the boomerang slow. Zach jumps in with the elastic slingshot. It does not land onto Svoboda, but Fat J goes down once again.
Okay, everything's not over though. Yes, there's still 45 seconds before bot lane respawns for Oregon, but they've got Best Sniper, and Best Sniper's wave clear is real good at holding this turret. It's still a while before that wave even shows up, and they had mid lane and top shoving in their favor, so Oregon State is okay, just a little bit. Gonna get the TPs in, but they're doing this without minions. This is a little risky.
It is, but then you have the ultimate from Terra. Cosmic Radiance making 4 members invulnerable. Reincarnation wants to go in and get the stun, but it does not work. Carlton Danks once again landing the ultimate.
Yeah, they break the base, okay? This is definitely going to be the inhibitor, but I don't know if you can push for the win. Tristana's up in 5 seconds. Yes, you have the Elder, but it's going to wear off very, very, very soon. And Tristana is huge.
Tristana is at that 5-item threshold, only waiting to sell the boots. Svoboda might want this. He throws the Q to get a slow. Carlton Danks on that front line, not afraid of anything.
They're looking to keep pushing. I don't know if this is the right choice. Look at top lane. You can see Oregon actually has the push here. Polly actually has lifesteal now, too. QSS is available, Flash available. They might look to actually press this fight.
I think that they try and keep it as long as possible because, like you said, that top lane, that one will take a turret. It is massive, and that's exactly what they need. They lost their top tier 2. These backs are going to be pretty long.
Yeah, and of course they're going to donate over that blue buff. You can see this is a triple wave. 4 cannons, if you count the one that has like no health.
Man.
And it goes for one that has high health. You can see it's going to begin to start melting very shortly here. It might even take it before Carlton shows up.
I don't
and
know.
During
He's
this
quick.
time, you can see red buff picked up by Tristana, being able to base, maybe selling those boots. It might happen. At least going to be the elixir. Yeah, sells the boots, gets the Phantom Dancer. 100% crit here. The late game damage. This is a Tristana. Now all summoners available too. We've talked about this Tristana late game. It is here, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. We are now at that 40-plus minute mark. This is that Baron you talked about in 30 seconds. They just got Scuttle Crab. Do not get caught out. If you're anyone in this game, that's the worst thing that could happen.
And now, something they talked about in LCS a couple seasons ago was the importance of which inhibitor you take before the Baron.
Yep.
Look at how far away Gnar is. He has to teleport. That's a lot of time. If you get the one farthest away from the Baron, it just helps you. And so, let's see what we've got here. S-Poly is pretty far forward. Clan's not wanting to go in. Doesn't see Reincarnation. He is completely off the grid right now.
You just need to stall here. You don't even need to take that vision back if you're Oregon State. You just need to stall. Let Gnar do his job. He's in a good spot. You just let him push because there's no teleport available. Someone has to answer him. And then if somebody shows up bottom lane, then, as you mentioned, furthest lane from Baron, he can show up and have a 5v4 that hopefully goes in their favor. It's okay. Just give up this. You don't give up the Baron, but give up the vision. It's fine. If they want to start it, what they are, then you have Mega Gnar showing up.
They do see the teleport. He doesn't have it for long, but Reincarnation jumps in. He gets the Counter-Strike stun, but who gets it? Blue team does end up with the Baron. Fidix is really low. Flash forward to get that shutdown, but now S-Poly needs to be out of that fight. Best Sniper lives because of the Buster shot. Now Mr. PBH is going to be the next target. He is stunned, and Svoboda makes it in and makes the push good. Stanford gets the Baron, but they lose the fight afterward.
They do indeed, Jadre, and you can tell that this is pretty bad news.
Reincarnation, be careful, buddy. That Carlton Danks wants you. Flash away, he is safe.
Not sure if worth it unless you guys need that gold to complete some sort of special item. But you can see pressure here onto mid lane. That's so much damage. Tristana's kind of caught. Will they take this fight without their AD carry? They do.
Yes, they do. S-Poly does buffer it correctly. He gets the kill onto the Zoe. Now they're onto the Urgot. He is going to die, but the Resurrection coming through. 2 more auto attacks. There's a shutdown.
They're going to push for the win. There's no way you don't.
No, they have to. 40 seconds left on Zoe. A whole minute on Carlton Danks. Look at this damage. S-Poly is ripping through these turrets. Needs to be careful. Buffer that rocket jump. But now Best Sniper Africa on the other side. Fidix gets stunned. He is safe. S-Poly is being hit pretty hard. Clan's right on top of him. Turret aggro, minion aggro rather. Best Sniper Africa is low. Fat J goes down. Svoboda is in the front line. S-Poly is so low. He gets killed by Fidix. Oh no. Bad stuff for Oregon State. Look at the minion wave up in the thing. In the base. Best Sniper needs to get back, but he is so low. They're just going to chase him. Is that a... Okay, top lane. No teleport here. Carlton Danks is still dead. Go ahead and ult, Svoboda. Go ahead. You have 40% cooldown reduction. Oh, and it does throw minions, by the way. That is another thing that I learned in my recent play. But red turret. Oregon State losing now their base. In comes Carlton Danks. They want the win. 20 seconds left. Svoboda and Best Sniper Africa have to defend. If they can make this last for the next 17 seconds, S-Poly will be there. Looks like the inhibitor does respawn. Fat J is into this fight. Does he have an ultimate? He does. He knocks everyone up. Gnar is there. Good thing he has his ultimate. He throws them in. There's the root down onto Fat J. Best Sniper Africa is in. Carlton gets the kill. Tristana. Best Sniper Africa is there. Then Tristana gets 1 kill. Needs a couple auto attacks. And the Reincarnation engage is there. Clans is not dead yet. S-Poly is hit. doing as best as he can, but he is now all alone against 3. The Nexus is bare as Pauly cannot make it happen. He kills Dolce, but is not able to save the game. Stanford come out with the 2-1 victory.
Oh my goodness, Juhadre, what a fight between these two teams, man. I feel bad for Oregon State. They put on a show games 2 and 3. They were just nitty-gritty, tooth and nail, fighting for those wins, and they were so close in this one, back and forth.
Very
just
close.
A few unfortunate catches. We'll take one last look at that team fight to give you guys a little bit more love of this play between these two teams, right inside the base.
The problem was going for the Nexus turrets. Yeah. They had the track, but the champions on the blue side were just too strong. And so, yeah, let's take a look at this right now. It is a 2-man defense. In comes Braum. Going to do a good disrupt here with the Glacial Fissure.
They just try and stall, and of course it's going to be followed up by the Naganar. It looks pretty good for a little bit, but you can see Zaya doesn't get caught. She's the one. Look at that root damage. The feather is just critting. So strong, going through everyone, and there's nice. Carlton Danks getting a snipe once again. And then, of course, so hard to defend when it's just you. Tristana here, you're going to see Reincarnation falling very shortly to just that damage. Look at the Zaya damage, crit after crit. And then, of course, the feathers will come through, too. Stall a little bit for there, but then finally after coming through, as Pauly going to bump in a way, you might wonder if he could have taken that 1v1. The cooldowns were there for Dolce Pooncake. He can't really contribute. He has to show up, and with the Grievous wounds, it takes him even longer to get off the platform. Not enough time. Going to be the next exploding. Congratulations there to Stanford University. They're going to take their second win match here. PACG moving up, looking to put the pressure there on University of Utah, sitting pretty at 2-0 as well. And that, of course, will be, unfortunately, 0-3 match points for OSU. But I look forward to more games from these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't make it easy any longer.
No, and if they performed this well, they still have yet to play Oregon. And I think they might be able to take that one. If they were this close to taking Stanford, who beat Oregon, they may just have it. And then they can tie up with Colorado and pray that Colorado also loses their games in the coming weeks.
Yeah, and they might have to go for some sort of tiebreaker. I don't think there's I'm pretty sure there's not a situation that could make a tiebreaker where they would be able to still go to playoffs.
No.
But, I mean, good showing, and they'll make it hard for other people to earn their wins.
Oh, definitely.
In their matches, so.
It was refreshing, too, because they went 0-2 both the other times. It was nice to see this one go all 3 games, and it was close. It was so close.
So close. Yeah. So, thanks again for joining us for 2 beautiful matches. An 0-2 in favor of Utah, and then, of course, this best of 3. What a wonderful series. Congratulations to Stanford. GG's, of course, to Oregon State University. Thanks for joining us for Pacific Alliance for Collegiate Gamers League of Legends action. Spring tournament has been amazing thus far. We're ending week 3 out for League of Legends. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Thursday, of course, for more Hearthstone action with follow-up on Friday for Rocket League. We'll be back on Monday for more PACG League of Legends action. You can check out that schedule, of course. Follow the social media channels at Pacific ACG for more updates. You can, of course, follow either of us. We love to give you updates about our casting as well. We cast the League of Legends stuff for PACG, so I'm at Superman Casting. You can follow me on social media, Twitch, Twitter, the like, Facebook, my own website. Check me out. I'd love to have you follow me along. Of course, Juhadre, it's been a pleasure every single time to cast alongside
Every time, Superman. I am Ben Juhadre Sorensen. Check me out on the Twitch and the Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We'll get some good stuff, good stories.
Thanks again for joining us. And thanks again to all the volunteers staying super late for our awesome series here this evening. Volunteer staff here at PACG, all of us here just putting in our time, having some fun, giving you guys some awesome production value. Hope to see you again. Of course, tomorrow for Hearthstone, Friday Rocket League, Monday I will see you again.
I'll be here.
League of Legends on Monday for PACG. Thanks again for joining us, and have a good night. Game on.
Can you say that I disappeared? Can you say that I wasn't there for you when you went into hiding on the front steps of your porch? And I reflected on the memories, but I put out that torch. Hey! But I put out that torch. You turn around.